Hello beautiful, welcome back to my channel. My name is Bettina and I'm the makeup enthusiast. In today's video we're bringing back some old school videos for me, I guess you could say. Today I am doing an anti-haul. This is like the first anti-haul I've done in probably like 2 years now. That is because I actually do a live stream every single Sunday at 9 AM Australian Eastern Standard Time where we talk about new beauty releases. But I thought for those of you that aren't able to make those live streams because the replays for those live streams are only available to members, that I could share my thoughts with you on some of the crap that has been sneak peeked or released over the last month and share with you some opinions that were shared by the community on my live streams. Without further ado, let's jump on into it and let's start with scooching over so you can see the photos of what I'm talking about. As always, I use a couple of Instagram accounts to find the new beauty releases. The main one is Beauty News Official, so run by Kat and Hayley from Beauty News here on YouTube. I also use Trend Mood One and Indie Makeup Spotlight, which is run by Amy from Amy Loves Makeup here on YouTube. Let's start off with this one right here. So this is the BH Cosmetics Birthstone palette, and this is Aquamarine for March. I have not been enjoying these palettes. I have been ripping these palettes to shreds. I hate this whole 7-pan palette layout thing, especially because the larger pan is always a color that most people like wouldn't go through very quickly. They wouldn't use a lot of it. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but if I bought this palette, I would probably hit pan on the color Affectionate and Secretive before I hit pan on the color Aquamarine. And I think it would take me forever to hit pan on the color Aquamarine. The swatches, comparing this to the other two palettes that BH has come out with in this line, I think this is probably the most cohesive and well-designed palette out of all of them. I think it allows you to be more versatile with your looks, and you can create better looks with this than what was in the last palettes. But overall, I don't need it. I'm not going to buy it because I just cannot get behind this massive like single pan. I wish that they just split it in two and made it an 8-pan palette as opposed to a 7-pan palette. And because of that, I think I'm probably just going to be shitting all over this range of palettes for the entirety of 2021, because in the past, when BH has come out with like a series of palettes that have spanned over the entirety of a year, they have not been good. So I'm predicting that these are just going to get worse and worse as the year goes on. Remember those Zodiac palettes? They were so bad. Every time they brought out a Zodiac palette, people would just shat all over them, and I think this is the same. This is exactly the same. Next is the Fenty Beauty Body Sauce. So this is a body foundation. I personally am not one to wear body foundation. I just could not be fucked wearing body foundation. I probably should, because my legs are giving a sheet of paper a run for its money. Because I am so pale, you can very easily see like my veins showing through, but I just could not be bothered. Plus, I just have this fear. I have this fear of like putting body foundation on my body and then like going to a friend's house and them having a white couch and me sitting down on the couch and then getting up and having that like whole fake tan experience where you've got white sheets and you wake up in the morning and your sheets are just brown or orange. I have that fear of having a situation like that with body foundation, and because of that, I just like, yeah, I'll deal with my white skin. If I ever do want to look a little bit more tan or healthy, I'll go and get like a spray tan and be done with it. So it's a no for this. I just don't have the time. I don't have the patience. I just could not be bothered to do shit like this. Colourpop Cosmetics Cheek Dew. These remind me so much of the Cosmetics serum blushes, which I love. I have been loving those things. I'm actually wearing one of them today as a blush. I sheared it out quite a lot and then went over the top of it with my foundation. So it's like barely there, but it's giving me enough color that I like and enjoy, and it makes my I feel like it makes my skin look really healthy and juicy. So if you haven't got those already in your collection, the Colourpop ones might be the way to go because they'll be a lot cheaper. But I already have 2 of the serum blushes, and you know, I only need 1 tiny little drop of that stuff to do both cheeks. So I don't need any more of these kind of blushes, and I really like the formula of the Cosmetics ones. So if I was wanting more colors, I think I would go down the route of supporting Cosmetics and getting more of those as opposed to going this way. I know a lot of people don't like the mechanism on the serum blushes. I personally haven't really had much of an issue with them. I just find that they dispense a little bit too much. I find 1 drop for me can more than enough do both cheeks. I wish that it would squirt out like maybe 1/4 of a drop or something like that. So that mechanism is more controlled. This is a squeezy tube. I think that I would consistently be squeezing out too much and going through this really quickly, wasting a lot just because of the squeezy tube. I guess it would depend on how fluidy the formula was, but I feel like I would probably squeeze out too much. It would probably be a big learning curve, but I really like the formula on the serum blushes, and I think that they're really nice and glowy. They give that like youthful glow, juiciness to the skin that I am really enjoying at the moment. So, and I do not need any more cream blushes. Cream blushes take forever to go through, so I don't need any more at all. Then we have this crap, and this is the Coach and Sephora collection collaboration. There are, I think, 3 eyeshadow palettes in this collection. They all are kind of this keychain charm-esque type thing with some eyeshadows on the inside. There's also a brush set which comes with 5 eyeshadow brushes, and you can display it in this display case that it specifically comes in. I think there's also a nail polish set that comes with like nail stickers, and there's also a lip gloss set, I believe. I just think this looks really tacky. I know there's some people that have expressed that they really like these like little keychain charm things. I just think it looks really tacky, and I am not one to hang a lot of charms off my handbag. My handbag's already heavy enough as it is. My bag's already stuffed enough as it is without adding extra bulk and weight to my handbag. So I'm not really one for this kind of charm type stuff. I think it looks really tacky and cheap. On top of that, I don't know who is going to want their eyeshadows swinging on a keychain on their bag. I just think that's really stupid, and I don't really think that the eyeshadows would last all that well. I would imagine that they would break quite easily, especially if it's dangling around on your handbag. I don't think it would last very well. And I don't know anyone in the world, other than people that like go out after work, I don't know anyone in the world that actually takes eyeshadow to work to touch up their eyeshadow. I only have ever known people to kind of, you know, spruce up their eyeshadow and go from like day to night. Next crap that I'm not going to buy is the e.l.f. Cosmetics and Chipotle collaboration. I just don't really, when I look at this stuff, I don't really get like burrito type vibes. I look at the eyeshadow palette and I see a lot of neutral. I feel like they could have definitely done the eyeshadow palette a lot better, more in line with the colors that the names of the product are. So like Hot Sauce, for example, if you look at the eyeshadow palette, Hot Sauce is like an orange tone brown. I feel like Hot Sauce definitely could have been like a fiery red. Then we have like guac or lettuce. They're kind of these like muted green colors. Guac is like a shimmery green. I think that these definitely as well could have been really intense, vibrant greens. Corn salsa as well could have been a really beautiful, vibrant yellow. I look at this palette and I get really bored as opposed to what it could have been. I think this could have been really, really cool, and it could have been so much better. It could have been better executed, and I think they just missed the mark for my liking. And then there's a Chipotle lip gloss. I do believe, from what I understand, it says fiery hot lip plumping gloss. I think this might have like some form of chili in it. I'm not a massive fan of plumping lip glosses. I just don't really like that burny feeling on my lips. I will sing the praises of the sponge duo. I think the sponge duo is super cool. It's got 2 different sponges to it, and if you combine them, it like looks like the avocado with the seed in the middle. I think that's really well executed. Other than that, I think they just kind of missed the mark for my liking. It could have been up here, and it just like it just missed here. Like disappointing. Oma Beauty and Coming to America 2 collaboration. I was quite surprised that Oma Beauty was actually the brand that collaborated with this movie. I just assumed that it would be like someone like Ulta or Sephora. But I am actually pleasantly surprised because I think they did a really good job on this collaboration. I personally am not going to buy any of the collaboration just because I don't need it. I really don't need it. I really want to try some stuff from Oma Beauty this year. It's on my It's on my list of brands that I want to try in 2021. But I am more super keen to try like their complexion products. I've heard amazing things about their foundations and concealers, stuff like that. Whereas in this collection, we just have like eyeliners, eyeshadow palettes, and lipsticks. So it's just not quite there for my liking. But I think they've done a really good job on this collaboration. I think they've executed it exceptionally. And I'm really happy that, you know, the movie decided to collaborate with a brand like Oma Beauty as opposed to Sephora or Ulta, because I think Sephora or Ulta would have totally missed the mark. I think that they just would have released trash as opposed to something like this that is really well thought out. The designs on the front of the palettes is gorgeous. The colors inside the palette are really pretty as well. So I think the collaboration's been executed really well. I just don't need it. I don't need it. And please let me know if you've seen the movie down in the comments box and what you thought of it. I like, it's not the greatest movie, but it's funny. It's got the good one-liners that the first version, like the first Coming to America movie had. It's got those, yeah, and it's got the nostalgia that it like pulls from the first movie. So it's kind of funny and cute, but it's not the best movie that I've ever seen. Next is this palette right here, and this is, I think, the biggest disappointment of the year. I am so ashamed of this palette. This is the new Ciate London I Am a Woman palette. Now, this palette was released around International Women's Day, and I think that Ciate should be so ashamed of themselves for this palette. I think this palette is so trashy, and when I look at it, I do not feel empowered. They have this whole thing around it about how it's supposed to be inspired by and a tribute to the forward-thinking, powerful and inspiring women across history who have fearlessly shaped the world as they know it, and you, our biggest inspiration. This is for all the women that continue to inspire us every day to do what we do. So they've actually taken really famous women in history, people that have been really like driving forces for feminism and stuff like that. And they've taken their names and they've actually put the shade names of the shades in this palette, those women's names. And I think a lot of these people would probably be rolling in their grave to know that they have been put against a bland eyeshadow color in a palette like this. I just think that they've really missed the mark. And for some of these women, the names in here, like, these people are so inspiring, especially like Ruth Bader Ginsburg. So inspiring, such a phenomenal woman, and like her color is like a neutral brown, like a boring neutral brown, and I just think it's a little bit disrespectful as well as shameful to use these women's names and attribute them to colors like this when they've been such driving forces for the movement in history. And even down to like Cleopatra, for example, they generically used like a shimmery gold color. From all things that I've seen about Cleopatra, she was actually quite like a vibrant woman. She used a lot of color. Her makeup was quite extravagant and out there. So for her to just be attributed to a shimmery gold, it's a little bit disappointing. It's a little bit disappointing. This has missed the mark so much for me, and I think Ciate should be ashamed of themselves. I think they should be ashamed of themselves. Ciate eyeshadow formula has historically been terrible, like terrible. So I'm assuming that this is going to be like so bad, so bad. Next we have a new concealer coming from Morphe too. This is the Hide and Peak concealer. This is supposed to be a lightweight, flexible concealer. Comes in 15 shades. It is vegan, buildable, light to medium coverage, natural looking finish. I don't know whether I really believe the light to medium coverage, just because Morphe 2 has always marketed itself as quite a like lower coverage, more along the lines of that no makeup look and the like tinted moisturizer kind of look. So I don't really believe that this is going to be buildable. And I think that this is just going to slip and slide all around my face. I'm going to end up with like concealer down on my chin by the end of the day when I first applied it up under my eyes. So definitely don't need this. Not keen, not interested, not going to buy it. Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics has released a few things over the last month. The first being the Pout Spoken liquid lipsticks and lip liners. Now, out of these two collections, I am most interested in trying the lip liners just because I don't need any more liquid lipsticks in my collection. I'm not wearing most of my liquid lipsticks at the moment. My lips are quite dry to begin with, so when I apply liquid lipstick over the top, they give me that like really crusty like butthole look, and I don't love it. So I've never really been a massive fan of most liquid lipstick formulas just because they've dried my lips out too much. But the lip liners, I'm always down to try a new lip liner. I love a good lip liner. I love trying new formulas of lip liners. But when it comes to Jaclyn Hill, I always proceed with so much caution because I am of the belief that, you know, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. Fool me 3 times, we have a pattern. And I think with Jaclyn Hill, there is a pattern, and I just don't know whether I believe everything that she says when it comes to all of the things that have gone wrong with her, you know, her releases with her brand, her collaboration problems, and all of that stuff that's happened in the past. I know that people can grow and change, but it probably won't be until I successfully see releases from her brand for maybe a year or so before I will feel comfortable buying stuff from her, because I just always feel like she is kind of a master manipulator. She always seems to jump back on social media just before she's going to release a product to try and get her fans back interested in watching her, to see if they're still waiting in the shadows for her to reappear. I just don't know. I don't know how I feel about her. I am very cautious of her, and I always kind of go into her new stuff or like watching her videos with skepticism and like eyes wide open, ready to kind of be manipulated. That sounds really bad, but I just always feel like she has a way with words, and it's never her fault. Like, she never really seems to accept responsibility for the things that go wrong in her launches, like whether it's her brand or her collaborations. She always seems to find someone else to blame, and that doesn't sit well with me. That just doesn't sit well with me. When you are somebody that's taking so much money from collaborations and profiting so much, there's a point where like some of the culpability has to fall on you, because you are benefiting and taking so much money from this stuff that's being released. Natasha Denona, Circo Loco eyeshadow palette. I have got to and froed on this eyeshadow palette for a very long time. Ever since I saw the original photo of the release, I have toed and froed, tossed and turned about whether I'm going to buy this or not. Sephora Australia finally like decided to have another sale again. I was like, right, if they have this palette, I'm going to buy it. This palette is $198 through Sephora Australia. I just, in the bottom of my heart, I just cannot fork out that much money at the moment on an eyeshadow palette, especially when I have like 2 fairly new eyeshadow palettes into my collection that I haven't even touched yet. So I just cannot bring myself to purchase this eyeshadow palette. I will say, I know a lot of people have said that they don't find this eyeshadow palette inspiring, but I want to show you guys this photo I saw on Instagram of it rearranged, and it looks so much better rearranged. I much prefer this eyeshadow palette. I find it way more inspiring when it's rearranged. So if you are struggling and you like some of the colors, or if you like it rearranged, maybe pick it up and rearrange it. I personally, I think I'm gonna pass on it. It is beautiful. I haven't, like, the looks I've seen of people create with this eyeshadow palette have been gorgeous, stunning, but I just don't need it. I don't need it. It's so pretty. I might put this on maybe my Christmas wish list, something like that. This is probably the most exciting eyeshadow palette I think Natasha Denona has come out with for a while. Neutral lovers will probably disagree with me there, but I think the colors in this eyeshadow palette, I like where this is going. Like, I like where the eyeshadow palettes are going. I'm excited to see what Natasha Denona brings out next. What else do we have to talk about? Oh, let's talk about this. This is the Tarte / Sugar Rush Positive Energy Vegan Eyeshadow Palette. So they claim that this eyeshadow palette is going to help balance your chakras. An eyeshadow palette. I know, it's ridiculous. This eyeshadow palette looks so cheap. This looks like something that I would see at Kmart around Christmas time, like in the cheap makeup section that you can buy like those cheap sets with like an eyeshadow palette and some cheap eyeshadow brushes. This looks like that belongs in there. The packaging on this looks so cheap and tacky. The plastic lid on the top of this eyeshadow palette looks like it would break within 2 seconds. Like, if you look at it too sternly, that it might just like break and fall to pieces. The colors inside as well are very boring and bland. I just don't like this whole crossover with Tarte. Like, Tarte has created this brand called Sugar Rush, but they seem to always cross over things when it comes to Sugar Rush, and it's not quite 100% obvious. It's like, is this palette from Sugar Rush or is it from Tarte? Like, just pick a brand and run with it. Too Faced Teddy Bear It All collection, and I'm just not feeling the Too Faced vibes at the moment. I've really gone off Too Faced at the moment. I just think that Jared is a little bit cringe. I just don't really like where Too Faced is gone. There's like this weird crossover where it's kind of like kids makeup with like that weird like sexual side of makeup that brands seem to do a bit, and there's like this awkward crossover where it's like, are you kids makeup or are you adults makeup? So I just feel uncomfortable sometimes with their releases when they have this like awkward crossover and they're trying to like rope in a younger audience, but at the same time they've still got, like, for example, the Better Than Sex mascara, but then they bring out a teddy bear eyeshadow palette. I'm not here for it. Not here for it at all. Okay, and the last thing that I want to talk about is a new release from Voldemort. Now, this is the Fuck Proof mascara, and it comes in this like very BDSM packaging. It's got this weird charm on the end that's supposed to look like a whip that apparently you can remove. The marketing pictures for this is very, very cringe. I don't like it. Makes me feel uncomfortable seeing Voldemort that naked. I don't love this. I think it's super tacky. I have never really enjoyed the crossover between makeup and sexualizing makeup, like, you know, with NARS and their orgasm blushes and all of that. Now we have this where it's a mascara and it's supposed to be like sex proof. I don't understand what brands' fascination with creating mascaras and naming them Like we've got the Better Than Sex mascara, there's the Perversion mascara, now we've got the Fuck Proof mascara. I don't know what it is with like mascaras and why we have to relate them to sex and all of that. It just is weird. I don't enjoy the over sexualization of makeup. I just don't like how, you know, it's always related to kind of making yourself look sexy or something like that. I just think that there should be more of like empowerment, and I don't think it is empowering to call a mascara proof. And even though he's trying to tell you that it's empowering, I don't think it is. I don't think you should be concerned about what you look like when you're, you know, if you catch my drift. And I don't think this helps that whole rhetoric. I don't think it helps the rhetoric of like, you know, stop caring what you look like and just enjoy what you're doing. I just think it's stupid. I don't think you should have to like put mascara on and prep your face just before you're going to I just think it's stupid and super tacky. There's just this whole like shock value. Voldemort just keeps relying on this shock value of late, and I'm not here for it. I don't love it. And the timing, the whole timing of things, that he just seems to have like this way with timing. I just wish it wasn't so tacky. It's just super tacky. It's super wasteful as well. That's what I want to drive home as well, is it's so wasteful. It comes in a box. It has this stupid tassel attached to it that you're never going to use. You're going to throw it out, and then as soon as you buy another one, you're going to get another tassel in another cardboard box. It is extremely wasteful and I hate it. So there you have it, guys. Those are my thoughts on the latest makeup releases. Like I said, if you do want to join me live on Sundays, we always go on random tangents over there talking about, you know, stuff that's happening in the real world at the moment. So if you do want to jump on and share your opinion and thoughts about any makeup releases or anything that's going on in the world at the moment, we would love to have you there. Let me know your thoughts on all of these releases down in the comments box. While you're down there, make sure you like this video, subscribe to my channel for future anti-hauls. You can also join my membership and applaud this video if you like. That's it for this video, everyone. I hope that you're having an absolutely fantastic day. I hope that you are staying safe and healthy and looking after yourself, and I will see you on the next video. Goodbye, beautiful.